Here we are at ISS '09 in Prague, and I'm talking to Sion Roberts, Director of CMS Computers.
CMS Computers.
Right, could you just start off, you're here as a reseller partner of Intel.
We are,
Can you just start off by telling us a little bit more about CMS?
Yeah, CMS was founded in 1993 as a distributor.
Right.
We focused on selling components for desktop PCs, but clearly this market, this market is a difficult market at the moment. So we've had to diversify,
okay.
And we've been more recently focusing on system integration.
Now that's interesting. I mean, I hear you that distribution's a difficult market. Sort of box shifting alone, the margins are very small,
They are.
and then it's difficult sometimes to add value. But most people would say if you're trying to get into a more easy, profitable market, being a local system builder wouldn't be the way you go. So why have you made that decision?
Well, we had the supply base of all the components at aggressive prices. We understood that the feedback from our customer base was our customers were not finding it economic to assemble PCs themselves.
Okay.
They were able to purchase a fully built PC.
So these are other smaller SIs?
So smaller dealers. So we were selling through the dealer channel to the traditional independent computer reseller. And we still do focus on that area, but clearly the feedback from them was that they were able to go and buy a branded box for the same price, or in some cases cheaper, than they could buy the components.
Some of the components.
So it just wasn't.
So that's just not adding up at all. Yeah.
So of course our sales of components was down year on
year. Right.
So we addressed that by assembling the PCs, and because we have volumes, economies of scale, and quite often we can buy the components. Not as a retail box component, but as an SI component without all the packaging and the excess. And so when we save a little bit, a dollar here, a dollar there, we can actually sometimes assemble the PC and sell it to the dealer cheaper than we could sell the components to them.
I see. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Slightly counterintuitive.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it obviously all adds up.
Yeah.
And how's that business going for you guys?
So that business is doing really, really well.
Really? Even in spite of all the challenges and the fact that the world economy's gone down the toilet?
Yeah, so we're finding the dealer channel market is still quite challenging, but they're doing well with the finished PC product.
Okay.
But we're finding new areas such as retailers, such as Argos, Morrison's.
Okay. So you have your own branded PCs. What's the brand?
The brand is ZooStorm.
Okay.
So these are selling quite well through the retail
mail
channel.
Order and
mail
retail.
order. Yeah. And then we also have a reseller channel through larger reseller accounts such as Dabs, eBuyer, Insight.
Okay.
And we have an education team. We recently launched the FizzBook, which is based on the Intel.
Oh yeah, I saw that at BET.
Yeah. Yep. So that's gone really, really well for us. So that's been sold through a separate education channel, specialist education resellers, and that's going really well.
And that's an Intel Classmates.
That's based on the Intel Classmate.
Right. And so how does that work in terms of what you receive from Intel and then what you do to it?
So it's an Intel design product, but it's produced by a Chinese OEM.
Okay.
So we purchase the unit. We then configure the operating system, license the Microsoft license for it. We design the package and basically bring it to market. So it's almost a finished product when we try it.
And your main sort of system building business, is that predominantly notebooks, desktops, mixture?
It's predominantly desktop, although notebook has been improving over the last couple of years. Notebook is certainly more challenging than desktop.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the specialist nature of the design.
Right.
The volumes on notebooks through the tier one competitors are extremely high, and therefore they have very good economies of scale.
Yeah.
But we're there or thereabouts now in terms of price. We're able to compete even at the low end. Which
this is notebooks you're talking about now?
On notebooks, yeah.
And has it become easier for a non sort of multinational OEM to build notebooks?
It's certainly become easier over the last couple of years, yeah. There's more and more companies in our position that are able to go to the ODM manufacturers and order some decent volumes, which of course is what's necessary. You get to a critical mass at the end of the day, and that's able then to get you the kind of price points you need to achieve.
So the way it works with notebooks, presumably as opposed to desktops, is you do get delivery of an almost complete system, rather than the bunch of components that you assemble yourself.
Yeah, so the chassis usually arrive, you can specify them with or without optical or with or without wireless, but usually we'll take a chassis with an optical drive, with a wireless, and we'll then specify the CPU, the memory, the hard disk, and the OS.
But you specify that to the manufacturer and they assemble it for you?
If we have a significantly large order, maybe over 1,000 units from a customer, then we'll have that assembled by the ODM in China. Otherwise, we have local assembly in the UK.
And desktop-wise, is there a particular sort of price sweet spot that you're selling them at?
It depends upon the retailer, Some retailers, particularly supermarkets and so on, they're very focused on the low end. So they're looking at a kind of $299 price point, and they don't go much above that. Other retailers, customers like eBuyer and so on, they would focus on the higher end products, because their customer base is a little bit more knowledgeable about
more
PCs,
sort of gamery sort of thing.
Yeah, they're interested in playing games. And they're interested in a really decent spec PC. So we tend to find that products around the £700, that's a really good spot for them.
And that's for the sort of better spec system. Yeah. And sort of component wise, I mean, you're here in partnership with Intel, so I'm assuming the majority of your machines use Intel processors, is that right?
Yeah.
Any sort of particular processors that are selling like hotcakes right now within your system?
I would say the most popular is probably an E5200. It represents a very good price point. And then we find the entry-level quads, so a Q8200, very, very popular product.
Okay, and they just launched an 8400 the other day, I think.
And there's a new 8400, yeah. The 8200 still has some price advantage, so we find the entry-level quad always sells.
And what about Core i7 stuff?
Much Core i7 is taking off, but for us it's the Core i7 920 that's the popular one. So we sell...
Stands to reason. Not many people want to spend $1,000 on a CPU.
Yeah. So we're selling very little on the 940 and the 965.
And can I ask how many units per month you ship in total?
We're shipping around 5,000 units per month.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And so basically, sort of in summary, in spite of everything that's going on, you guys are managing to make a living out of being effectively a sort of local system builder.
That's right,
in the UK.
Yeah. So we've seen an increase year on year in the number of units that we're shipping, and more significantly, we've seen a decent increase this year in sales of netbook and laptop products.
So what do you think you're doing right? Where people like Evesham and some of the sort of previous giants of the UK system building industry have fallen by the wayside, what are you doing right?
We're not trying to take on the world ourselves. We're not trying to do everything ourselves. We've got a good channel strategy. So we're focusing on our resellers. So we're focusing on the likes of the DABs and eBuyer and Insight. And we really want to partner with them and make sure that they succeed in their sales.
Cool, okay, well, it's nice to hear a good news story amid all the doom and gloom. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you've been watching HEXUS channel at ISS 09. Join us for the next one.